Greetings, Dennis Daniels here. That's the title, How to Use YouTube for Instruction. If you're a teacher, you're probably rolling in anguish. If you're a student, I might have your attention. How do we do that? YouTube has so much material now for math, for teaching math, chemistry, physics, you name it. There is instruction for it. And often that instruction is coming from MIT, Harvard, Columbia University, Berkeley. These are the best schools, some of the best schools on the planet, and yet our high schools, our schools in general, universities are still producing less than qualified thinkers and problem solvers. Less than qualified thinkers and problem solvers. Why is that? Students, culture. All of those could be answers. Solution, easy. Students and teachers publish their learning or their instruction and their learning. Much like I'm showing you now, these videos are super easy to make. Screencasts are super easy to make. And I'm making this one on the fly. So, how can you use, if you're a teacher, how to use YouTube in your coursework? Coursework. As a lesson. Okay, fairly straightforward. What you do is you'll find a video. This one, Sugata Mitra, Can Kids Teach Themselves? There's so much evidence that students often have better ways of teaching each other than any adult would ever have. Fascinating in its implications. And this man talks about it at some length. Let's get his picture here. Okay, so there's this man, Sugata Mitra, and what I've done, and this is something you as a teacher would require your students to do, is to watch the video and then to respond. So his question here, how to retain good teachers. He's talking about the rural problems, the teachers in rural areas in India. You click on this 2-minute here. You maybe not be able to see it, but it's 2:00. That indicates the video will jump to 2 minutes.
Remote areas do not have good enough teachers. If they do have, they cannot retain those teachers.
Okay, so what happened is that the video jumped to that 2 minutes portion. Now, as a teacher, you want to highlight certain parts of the video, so you could do the same thing, where you would you'd watch the video, and then you would pose your questions directly into the video, and people can then reply. Your students could then reply directly to those comments. Of course, the other students will watch and have their own responses and their own questions. And at the end of that, then the students would then go on to create their own responses, processing one of those problems. The problem is how to retain good teachers. Well, the students will have a pretty good idea on how to retain good teachers. They might not have the experience and knowledge of what it means to try and feed families or live in remote rural areas, but they'll have some ideas that no adult would ever come up with, because our brains are wired differently at that point. So here is a basic way for teachers to use the content, the incredible amount of content that's available on the internet, especially on YouTube, for instruction. Please try to do so. So many schools just missing their students' interests because they have locked into books and pencils and pens And if you're going to say that instruction or computers are too expensive in the United States, in the US, absolutely not. You can take old machines and turn them into thin clients for less than $50 each, and I've done it, and I'm surprised that more teachers haven't. But that may be why computers and teachers don't get along very well, because a teacher that knows how to use a computer quickly finds a higher paying job. Anyway, looking forward to your responses.